names. And so, what am I going to do? I can't remember his name. So when he come up, Dorothy, how are you? Well, hi, handsome, how are you doing? I couldn't remember his name. I thought, oh, well, shoot.
So,
She go up.
so okay, now those kind of familiar stories, I can recognize that level of familiarity with people. But when you're in a photo shoot with people that you work with,
yeah,
if you had a coworker, if you had the vice president of the company,
if you was at work, and the little kids was running in, you wouldn't do that, no siree. So no, he was wrong. The people that were not part of well, you could call them. It's called a brotherhood. The Masons are, but anyway, because you know they don't mean anything by it. That's the main thing. There's not one Mason out of 10,000 that would want to make a pass. But like Luther said, first he's a man, then he's a Mason. So he's a man, then he's a politician, I guess. I don't know. Okay. I'm sorry. Am I in your way?
No. No, he's...
Are you making fun of me?
No. He's making fun of himself. He's got a little bit of a...
Just so you're not making...
H3 going on.
I'd have to turn you over my knee.
Instagram versus reality over here. Okay,
I don't believe I ever did turn you over my knee.
So what I'm saying is, in that situation, from those few little clips right there, when CNN says, he didn't do anything wrong, but you see him petting small children and cupping his hand underneath these young girls like this. This is, what I'm saying is the level of familiarity.
When he apologized, he said, I never realized, that it would be offensive. He said, I didn't, and see, the guys in Star wouldn't, and the Shrine, they wouldn't realize that it was offensive. It's just part of our routine.
Let me try to phrase it from my perspective. The reason,
but you would not normally. That is not normal. Because you don't do that with strangers.
Okay, now what I'm saying...
people you know.
What I'm saying, even people I know. My rule of thumb is I'm not going to treat anybody else any different from the way I'd treat you. I would feel uncomfortable cupping your face and nuzzling nose to nose and getting intimate like that with you. So I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that with the next door neighbor or with... in a photo shoot with my coworkers and
the way you show your affection to me is perfect. It is very courteous, very gentlemanly, and yes.
Well, thank you. I tried to bestow that same respect, that same physical boundary.
Yeah, you are.
For everybody because the thing is, how uncomfortable would I feel if Aunt Pat came up and she just started rubbing on my shoulders and sniffing my hair? Like, I wouldn't want...
I think he was kissing her head, but I don't know. It might have been sniffing her hair. I don't know.
Well, accounts from...
But either way, it was
accounts from senators' wives, from those who have actually talked about it, they said they're the ones who say that he was sniffing their hair. This is where that comes from. That their claims that he wasn't kissing their head. He was smelling them.
Not a hair fetish.
Well, yeah, it's just all of that caressing, the petting their faces. That really bothers me. Petting. I hate the idea of being pet on the face like that. Especially from my spouse's boss, because he's the vice president.
Uncle Monroe was bad about that. One thing he did to me made me so mad, I wouldn't get close to him. He would take me, and he always had whiskers, stiff bristles. and he'd rub my face with his face.
Oh, that's...
Oh, and it hurt because I have very tender skin.
Yeah.
And it just turned my face so red. It hurt. And he did, every time he'd get a hold of me, he'd do that. And I thought that was, but Uncle never, in all my life, showed any signs, or no one ever saw any signs of him being out
when
of,
he got much older. Then he did.
But he did. He was a fondler.
No.
But that's all he did to me. He was rub my face with his whiskers, and it would just, my poor face would be sore for days. It'd be tender.
Yeah.
You can imagine taking a bristled brush and rubbing someone's face
Well, and
with
especially, how old were you? Like, especially a child.
A kid.
Right, because your
Yeah.
skin is even more tender. You haven't had years of skin damage and age to toughen your face
the
up.
age and the weather and all that damages your skin, yeah. But Uncle was a fondler. He really was. But he was not a sex... I don't think he ever got out of line sexually with any woman.
Well, and see the same thing with Joe Biden though. No one is actually, no one's trying to say that he's a sexual predator. Just pointing out though that it's very disturbing that he
that's no good.
The petting and the sniffing and it's just entirely too familiar. That level of familiarity is just. It's by and large, and that's the reason why he would come out and publicly say, "Hey, you know what? I thought it was okay, but I'm not going to do the thing anymore." Like,
he said, I'm not doing it anymore.
The only people
he didn't think anything about it, but other people do. No, I will not offend other people.
Well, and
no, he said he wouldn't do it, and he doesn't. And I watch him, and he doesn't. He's very, very standoffish.
Yeah, because he tried making a big public statement.
Don't do it.
You remember when he tried to make
but nobody ever said anything before.
Do you remember when he tried to make the public statement about touching the kid and then saying it's okay? He gave me consent.
I don't know. It seems that seems familiar. Yeah, that seems familiar. But